Today we are going to be making blueberry muffins. So we're going to start out with 2 eggs, and I'm putting these into my mixer. You don't have to use a mixer, you can just use a whisk. But I have my KitchenAid and I love it, and I'm going to use it. And we're going to do 1 cup of regular sugar, 1 cup of sour cream, which is also the equivalent of 8-ounce package. And then we're going to do a 1/2 cup of oil. That was just vegetable oil. You can use like a olive oil or a different kind of oil there. And we need some vanilla, and just a splash of vanilla. Alright, I'm going to mix these up, and then we're going to start adding the dry ingredients. Okay, I did want to mention that the vanilla that I used is homemade. It's made out of vanilla beans that's been soaking in vodka. So that is a gift I actually got 1 year for Christmas. So now I'm going to add a 1/4 teaspoon of salt. And we're going to add 2 cups of flour, which you could add in gradually. I'm just going to add it all in. 2 teaspoons of baking powder. And we're going to kind of mix that up just a little bit. Now, as with any batter, you don't want to over mix it because it's going to make your batter tough. Okay, so now I'm going to add 2 teaspoons of lemon zest. And 2 tablespoons of lemon juice. And we're going to mix this up until it's completely mixed together. Okay, so that's our simple batter. So now we are going to add in the blueberries. Now the recipe calls for about 1.5 cups, but I tend to use a little more than that. So I've got these already pre-washed and dried. And you don't want to use your mixer with this. You're just going to want to get a spoon and mix these in. So once we get that all blended together, then I'll show you how we're going to make cupcake liners to put these in. Okay, I thought I'd quickly show you how to make your own muffin wraps using parchment paper, so you don't have to buy the pre-made muffin cups. So I have a piece of parchment paper here. You can tell it's not perfectly square, but it's about 8 inches square, 8 by 8. So you want to fold it in half, fold it in half again, And then we're going to take scissors and we're going to cut on those lines. I would say almost 3/4 of the way to the center where the lines meet. And you want to cut all 4 lines. Then you're going to get your muffin tin. This is a large muffin tin. This isn't your regular size. And you can take a cup, if that helps, to kind of push it down in there. And then it's not going to want to stay perfectly in there until you get your batter in there. But you can kind of push the paper down, help it mold into the cup there. Okay, so now that we've got our papers made, we're going to start dipping in our muffin mixture into there. You're just going to have to divide it up in between all 6 of them. So it may have a little too much, and then you can make extra separate muffins. Because you don't want to get them too full, but I do like a big muffin. Don't do that like I just did where the paper folded. Okay, and I'm going to continue to filling the rest of them, but I wanted to mention that I take a little bit of sugar at the end and I sprinkle over the top of each one of them, and it gives it a nice sugar crust on the top. Now we are going to cook these in an oven at 400 degrees from 20 to 25 minutes, and when they're done I will bring you back so you can see the finished. And here we go. I ended up having to cook them for probably closer to 25 to 30 minutes. Want to make sure that the centers were totally set. And it's probably because I have extra blueberries in there than what we're supposed to have, but that makes it extra yummy if you ask me. So I hope you enjoyed. Have a blessed week.